Hi guys, and welcome to Module 4. So this is going to be the only video in this module, and the reason for that is because everybody's obstacles are so individualized, and I would like you guys to take this opportunity to reach out to me in the Facebook group or via email so that we can bust through the obstacles you're facing. I'm going to talk about the biggest obstacles that I see coming up in my coaching calls with clients, in the Facebook group, and the private messages and emails I'm getting. But everybody has a different obstacle, and it's usually easiest to pinpoint how to resolve the obstacle if I know all the specifics. So definitely use this time to reach out to me, and we will find a solution to whatever problem you're having. So I really like this quote. If you expect life to be easy, challenges will seem difficult. If you accept that challenges may occur, life will be easier. So changing your lifestyle is huge, whether it's your finances or your relationships or your health, whatever it is that you're setting out to change, it's hard and it's big. And if it wasn't hard, everybody would do it. Everybody would be walking around with the perfect physique and the best shape and health of their life, and that's just not the reality. So if we can accept from the beginning that we're going to bump up into obstacles, we're going to have things that we need to change in order to stay consistent and successful long term, it's going to be easier to accept those challenges when they come. So as far as also, just viewing this differently, it's a mindset shift. If you have always, started out on something to change, a new journey, and the minute that you face something hard, you back down and you revert back to your old ways, you're never going to find growth, no matter what it is. In this instance, we're obviously talking about our health, but whatever it is, you have to become a different person to overcome that obstacle. And this module will be focusing on a lot on the mindset shifts and the behaviors that we can change in order to grow and evolve as a different and better version of ourselves, and just how this can be applied to any area of your life. But we're going to be talking about health today, obviously. So these are the four main areas where people seem to be getting hung up. Like I said, with the private messages I get or the Facebook messages, and with my coaching clients and the people that I've done some free calls with. So we've got some group members struggling to get started, and that's totally okay. This is hard. This is a lifestyle change, and this is something new, and you just may not know what you don't know yet. So we're going to cover some ways to get started. We've got people that are struggling to stick with it. We've got some participants that are just not seeing a quick enough result. And then I think this one's big for everybody, the socializing aspect. When we're doing something different, but we're trying in our, same familiar environment, we're going to come up against some obstacles. And I wanted to give you guys some tips to work with that. So first of all, getting started. If we've been in this group for like 6 weeks now, and if you are struggling to get started, I honestly believe that you've got some amount of limiting beliefs that you need to work through. So if you don't understand what limiting beliefs are, so all of our thoughts create our beliefs. So the things we think about every day, and some of these thoughts are going to be so habitual. They're thoughts that we've probably had for 20 plus years. And we may not even know that we need to question these thoughts because they're so ingrained in our mind and our patterns. But if we sit down and examine every thought that we have every day, and we start to see certain ones showing up and how we feel once we have those thoughts, do we feel defeated or do we feel excited? So you really need to sit down and examine your thoughts, because your thoughts create your beliefs. What you're always telling yourself, and some of these thoughts or beliefs, they may not have come from within. They may have been what other people have told you or what you've picked up through the media and through magazines and cultural norms, but they might not be true for you. So you really need to examine your thoughts, and then your thoughts create your beliefs create your actions. So if you believe that you are unable to lose weight, or you're not able to stick with it, or you're not able to live a healthy lifestyle, the actions that you take will not be consistent with somebody that does live a healthy lifestyle. So if you are someone that believes you can accomplish anything, or that your body is a miracle that's capable of anything, you will start taking action. You will start shifting what you do every day, and you will start to see results. So by creating these actions then becomes a reality. So our thoughts create our beliefs create our actions, and then our actions create a reality. So even if the thoughts and the beliefs aren't quite there, this part can take some time. You need to start living like a healthy person does. You need to start living like somebody that's already at their goal weight. When you're at your goal weight, you're going to be the actions that you're taking at your goal weight will be those of a healthy person. So if you start doing that now, that's how you're going to get to the reality of your goal weight. Next thing I want you to do is list out anything that you think could be holding you back. Anything and everything. Nothing is wrong here. So you might be listing things out like, I don't have the right foods. I don't know what to eat. I need a meal plan. I don't have support. I don't think I can do it. Everything. Everything that you think could be a problem for you, write all of those things down because I promise you there's a solution to everything. We can figure everything out and we will dig at it until we do. This is how I solve any problem, whether it's health related or not. I make a list of everything that I need to figure out, everything that I need to have on hand, everything that I need to do and become in order to be the version of myself that I want to be. So you're going to sit with those thoughts that I've asked you to think about and the beliefs, and then your list of everything that you think is holding you back. And you need to challenge those thoughts. You need to look and see, you need to find examples of somebody that's living the lifestyle you want to be living and prove to yourself that it can happen for you. If somebody else is doing it, then there's a 100% chance that you can do it as well. Um, and once again, post in the group. This is what the group is for. This is what email access to me is for, is to find solutions to your problems. So that's I totally understand everything I'm teaching you as far as the mechanics of keto. It's a Google search away. All the answers are there, but that's not where the obstacles lie. It's you know the information, it's then the behavior change and the shifts that need to be made. That's where the group coaching is the biggest value and asset to you right now. So I've had some group members really lacking in spousal or family support. And if you find yourself waiting for your partner to get on board, you might be waiting the rest of your life. You can't wait until your husband or your wife or your partner, whoever it may be, you cannot wait for that person to want to make the change. You have to make the change. You have to be the example. And if they choose to get on board with you, that's amazing. But if not, no big deal. If you're so enmeshed with your partner that you think you both have to be doing the same exact thing, you really need to step back and take a different approach because yes, it's helpful if we have our partners on board, but it also can be hindering if we're waiting on them. This might not be their goal. This may not be the lifestyle that they want to embark on, and you just have to accept that and do the best that you can. Use the group as your support. Use a friend or an accountability as your support. And if you find that your spouse or your partner or friends, family members are challenging what you're doing, you're just going to have to own that this is the best decision for you. Whenever somebody sets out on a change, sometimes that can feel like a threat to the way of life or the routines or the normalcy that the other person in your life is used to. And they just have to see that you're doing this so that you can become a better version of yourself. So my guess is you will get some comments or you will get the can't you just live a little or I don't like what you're cooking or you're going to get some comments and challenges about what you're doing, but you really need to own it and stick to it and know why you're doing it. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second here. And finally, the lack of time. This may be the most popular reason that people are struggling to get started. And I understand we all have the same 24 hours in the day. Some of us are busier than others. But if you're constantly finding that you lack the time or you're telling yourself you just don't have the time to get started, you're never going to have the time. So you really need to analyze where your priorities are. And I really hope that your health is one of them because if you don't have your health, you're not going to be here to be able to do all the other things that you would like to do. So just try to carve out an hour this week to sit down and just the first download that I put together in module one, that's basically a quick start guide. You don't have to sit and check out all the videos right away, but if you look through that guide, you're going to get the information that you need to get started. Module two will help you calculate your macros and then just start going. Just take it meal by meal and choose the healthier option. So now that some of you guys have been doing this for a while, you may have noticed you're having some trouble sticking with it. If you're having cravings, Try to add some more electrolytes to your diet because the cravings could be just an electrolyte imbalance, or also add more fats because you may not have enough calories in your diet. As I've mentioned before, when we're starting out with keto, sometimes we're just not hungry. And if you're not getting enough calories, your body may start craving some of the things that are not keto approved. So definitely add more fats to your diet. So, in my nutrition coaching certification program, one of the things that they really discussed was more of a food instead of taking foods away, especially in the beginning. So, you might find that it's hard to take things out of your diet, but start by adding more of a vegetable that you don't normally eat or more salads to your diet. Try adding the healthy things before you remove the bad things because you're going to be filled and nourished by the nutrients in those healthy foods, and you may find that you don't even want the bad stuff anymore. So, if you can approach it with the mentality of adding healthier things versus taking out the unhealthy things, you might find that those cravings subside. Now, you might also be lacking motivation. I know we're hitting the colder months here, and it's easy to just stay inside and want to eat the comfort foods. But I'd like you to get back to your why. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to feel better? And any time that it comes up that you don't want to stick with what you're doing, think about that why. Think about what's it going to look like if you don't make a change? Where are you going to be? Do you want to still be 20 pounds heavier next time this year? Or would you like to be at your goal weight and focusing on bigger goals and more exciting things in your life? And weight loss and weight challenges are no longer a problem for you. So if you can just keep that forward vision of what you want your life to look like and who you want to be and what's going to be possible for you once you get the weight off, how you're going to feel, what you're going to, you know, it, when we're not healthy or when we have extra pounds on our body, it takes up a lot of our mental space. I know from experience that it's a big focus and it feels like it's something always on the to do list. But once you accomplish this goal, it's going to open up so much more mental capacity for you to focus on bigger goals and things that you never even thought were possible for you. And then this one is becoming also another popular obstacle is not seeing results. And I'm going to cover that in the next slide here. So some people may not be seeing results quick enough to their liking, and we've all come from different backgrounds. Some of us have been eating terribly processed diets for a long time. I'm talking years, if not decades. And some of us maybe we're eating real food, but also had the additions of ice cream or other unhealthy things. So some of us will reach our goals or see results quicker. It all kind of depends on how you were eating before. But you also have to remember that this weight you didn't gain the weight in a week or two or even a month. It slowly crept up. So to see sustainable weight loss, you want the weight to slowly fall off. If you lose all your weight in a week or two, you're going to put it all right back on and probably more because you haven't had the time to develop the healthy habits that are needed to maintain weight loss for life. So, all that being said, I want you to ignore the scale right now. If you're finding that you're not losing weight, ignore the scale. Don't get back on that scale for a while and really ask yourself, how do you feel? Because weight loss is probably a lot of our, most of our goals for everybody. But with, changing our nutrition is we're going to see a host of other positive side effects, such as more energy, more focus, more clarity, better skin, better sleep, better digestion, better moods. There's going to be a host of other benefits that come along with it. So, how are you feeling? Check in with how you feel because if you're starting to feel better, the weight loss will come. And you just have to keep that in mind. It's going to come. But right now, you can focus on the other benefits that you are seeing. And then also try on your clothes because sometimes the scale may not budge, but you're going to notice that your jeans fit a little looser or you don't feel so stuffed in your clothes. So ignore the scale for a while and just keep focusing on how you're feeling and how your clothes are fitting. And I just touched on this, but just remember it takes time. And I I think I'll cover this in a different slide, but or no, it's on this one, 3 months. So when I work with coaching clients or when I work with a coach myself, the minimum I like to work with somebody is 3 months. And that's because it takes about 3 months to sustain a habit, to build that habit or that mindset up strong enough that it's going to be sustainable. We've only been at this for about 6 weeks. That's that's just a speck of time in the grand scheme of things. And just know that, by the 3-month mark, these are going to be habits built in your day that you don't even need to think about or question. It's just going to be who you are. So just keep that in mind if you're getting frustrated that you're not seeing the results that you want as quick as you want. And then also just remember what's on the other side. Keep pushing for that goal, for that why, for what you're going to feel like when you are at your goal weight. And as I said previously in this video, just become that version of yourself that is at your goal weight now and establish those habits now. And that's how you're going to get there. Now, socializing is definitely an obstacle for many people. There's you may feel bad or you may feel uncomfortable trying to eat out or eat around people when you're changing your habits, and it might be uncomfortable to talk about, or you're not wanting ready to explain what you're doing. And so here's just some tips that I have for you. So if you're going to be eating out, maybe you could try to pick where you eat and know what options that the restaurants have beforehand and know if there's a keto version for you. Most times than not, any restaurant's going to have something that can be keto. You could, look at their menu online, and if even if you're not the one that picked the restaurant, look at the menu online before you go to the restaurant and have an idea of what you can order and how it can be made into a keto version. You could also eat before you go and then just opt for a salad or something small if the restaurant does not have keto options. Like if you're going to an Italian restaurant and it looks like it's all pasta and carbs, eat beforehand and then just have something small while you're eating out. And then the third option would be just to fast. I sometimes don't eat when we go out. I'm there for the social aspect of it and hanging out with my friends, but I don't make food the source for the joy that I'm experiencing at those events. I make talking to my friends and being around my friends and family the joy. If you're going to be eating at someone's house, once again, you could eat beforehand and just explain, I was actually really hungry before I came, so I already ate, but I appreciate you preparing this meal and maybe find one thing that you can eat. Or this is what I pretty much always do is I bring what I can eat. I offer to bring a dish and I make sure that it's, something that I can eat. This really affects me as well because I'm gluten free and I it's pretty serious if I eat gluten, so it's important to always have options with me that I can eat. And don't feel bad about asking your host what the menu is going to be like. Don't feel bad asking what they're preparing, and even if you need to make a suggestion, oh, I can't eat that, I would be glad to bring this, or if you still want to prepare what you were preparing, because 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, your host wants you to be happy and satisfied with the meal, and they're going to want to make something that you can actually eat. So don't ever feel bad about speaking up for yourself and vocalizing when you need a healthier option. So social pressure, um, when you do go out to eat, you may find that people kind of tease you a little bit, or, oh, just live a little, or these carbs aren't going to kill you. They're going to have something to say about you making a change. And I think some of that goes back to the uncomfortableness that you showing up as a different version of yourself may have for the situation. Your friends or your family members, they might just be a little challenged, or they might feel a little uncomfortable seeing you make a change, and not because they feel this way negatively towards you, but maybe because that's a change that they themselves probably need to make, and it's kind of bringing it to light. So whether it's for that reason or they're just teasing around with you, like I know when I first went gluten free, the big joke was like if I ordered something, the big joke was, I'll take her gluten. And that's fine, haha, they can laugh about it, but I felt terrible when I ate gluten, and I wasn't going to let somebody else's comment derail my health. So, if you don't want to say I'm doing keto for weight loss, you could say I've changed my nutrition habits because I feel better when I eat this way, or I'm trying to reduce my blood sugar because I'm, scarily getting to the pre-diabetic stage, and I know if I don't take control of it now, it could be a problem down the road. You could say I'm improving my digestion. You could say that eating this way gives me a clearer mind, or I have less headaches, I have less fatigue. You don't have to say the weight loss aspect of it. Turn the reason for it onto a different benefit that you're seeing from, and you probably will inspire one of your friends or family members to do the same. So don't be afraid to speak up for what you need and just own the decision and the change that you're making. And also, finally, just remember that when you're out to eat, good enough is better than perfect. You don't have to try to be perfect when you're eating out. This is a lifestyle change. And if you're always focusing on trying to do it perfectly, it's not going to be sustainable. So if you're eating out and you have a couple bites of something that you probably normally wouldn't eat, it's not the end of the world, because you know what? The very next time you eat is another opportunity to get back on the keto wagon and just keep pushing forward. And finally, I just want to offer this up. Consider coaching. This is what I do for a living. And I coach people and I'm also coached. So anytime I've set out to achieve anything big in my life, I had a coach. The reason is because we don't know what we don't know. So you may be sitting here bumping into a wall repeatedly that you don't even know you're bumping into, because you don't know any different. And when you work with a coach, whether it's for health or finances, relationships, whatever that coach's expertise may be in, they are experts. They know what the problem is before you even realize you have a problem. And so it's a good way to achieve your results quicker, because you don't have to face those challenges alone. And then the other thing I want you to keep in mind is the same mind that created the problem can't solve the problem. You have to grow. You have to become different in order to be a different version of yourself. So the same mind that sat on the couch and ate ice cream or the chips or whatever it was that has caused you to gain weight cannot be the same mind that's going to lose the weight. You have to really put time and effort into your personal development and your habits to become a different person. And a coach is somebody that can help you shine a light on those habits or help you figure out where you're struggling and how to overcome that. And finally, you'll see quicker results, and you'll because you're going to have accountability and you're going to have support. So if you're constantly someone that's saying I can't get motivated, or it's just not a priority for me, but I would like it to be, or you find that you don't have support around you. Right now I have a business coach because I don't have a lot of friends or family members that are looking to up level their business in the same way that I am. And so I'm finding that support. I'm seeking out and finding other like-minded people to help me do this. So you might not have family members or friends that want to eat this way or want to lose weight or want to change their life. And so it's your responsibility to find those people and change your habits, change your lifestyle. And all of that can be done with coaching. So if you're interested in hearing more about coaching, reach out to me. I'll be glad to chat with you. We can do it over the phone or Zoom calls, whatever works best for you. But I just always go back to, if I could invest in myself for 3 months and be further along than if I try to go it alone, I'm going to probably still have the same problem in a year from now. And so I just weigh the benefits and the pros and cons of investing in myself. And if I'm certain that I can make a change with the coach I'm considering, I pull the trigger immediately. So if you guys have any questions, reach out. And I'd love to hear all about your obstacles in the Facebook group. I like you to post them in the Facebook group first if that's where you feel comfortable, because a lot of times we're all facing the same obstacles, and I we can learn from each other, and we also see that we're not alone. And if somebody else has the same obstacle that you're facing, you guys can reach out and be accountability partners together. But if you don't feel comfortable posting your obstacle publicly, not a big deal. Just send me an email and I would love to help you bust through that challenge.